All right, welcome back. So, doing a little, starting the programming. I might have to charge my radio here shortly, but I want to show you guys this. So, I did all this, but this one was off somehow, the center point, so I had to take the servo back out and put the servo arm on center and get it as close as you can. You know, typical servo arms, there's never that, because it's a spline, there's never a perfect 90-degree point unless you have the old Align made some servo wheels that you could keep turning it until one would eventually line up perfect with a 90-degree point, but nobody else has seemed to master that. But so you can see here it's a little off. I've got it going in the right direction, so left stick, left aileron goes up, and I have this set at full throw, and that's way more than I need even. And I went down, that's probably a ½ inch on the servo arm. And I do that, I go in as far as I can on the servo arm. One, that gives you more torque to a point, and it allows you to go get more of the servo throw without having to cut down the endpoints. Because when you cut down the endpoints too much, it kills the resolution of the servo. It adds kind of a bad wear point. You know, the movement being in one little area causes it to wear different than if it goes across its entire span. But anyways, so I've already done a video on this, programming the servo and everything. And so the only thing I really have to do here, where's my little, is do my center point change. So I get it as actually, no, because I would have to lengthen, and it's not perfectly centered. I don't want to go lengthening that any longer because the threads are not very long. I don't want to get too many threads out. I might actually need to go in some more on this one, but we'll see here. All right, let's see here. Actually, a little bit more. All right, so that one's centered. What looks centered. This wing is an odd shaped wing. All right, so there you go. And once you make any adjustments, you know, you can you hit right, and it essentially stores it in the servo at that point. So this is what I was talking about when you guys, kind of a nice feature, like with 18MZ you had to plug a battery in. This one, it powers it right off the actual thing. Dampening factor, I wonder what this does. Let's turn this down. Whoa. Doesn't like that, so let's go back up to 80. I guess that controls the bounce. Huh. What does going up higher do? Oh, keeps it from slamming as much. Okay. Well, we're going to go back to 80 on this. Yeah, I bet you that would help on stabs, you know, to keep it from jerking too much. Boost. What is boost? Let's go up on that. 45. A little bit of a buzz there. I don't like that buzz. That's weird. If anybody know what this boost does, let me know. I'm going to turn it back off for now, though. All right. So I have soft start on there, and what I'll show you, let's see if it's, no, we'll have to, no, it's, let's see if this actually, all right, so soft start. So you have these big stabs, you know, and you power them off and they droop, or your flaps, they droop, and then you power it up. The soft start, yeah. The soft start's kind of cool. It just kind of keeps him from slamming. And it'll slowly go to its... What is going on? Do I have that? Huh. There we go. And it slowly goes to its neutral point, and you can adjust that how fast you want it. It kind of sucks when you have a Cortex gyro, because the Cortex gyro will defeat that, you know, because it pops when it initializes. I hate that about the Cortex, but it is what it is. But I always put that on. So there you go. There's that one. So this one I actually have assigned to channel 10, and here's kind of what I did. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this at all, but yeah, I'll just set it right here and lower the camera just a little bit. So because I updated this radio to get 26 channels, so here's my function menu. This is kind of what you're gonna see here. And normally, you know, you have channel 1 is aileron, 2 is elevator, and that kind of stuff. But the problem is with my power system, I can either plug in 1 through 9 or 10 through like 16 or whatever. So you can, hold on, let me go find one of those. So I'm quoting myself right. Okay, so here's what I have in here. Yeah. So essentially, I actually have to change this. Actually, yeah, I do. Because I'm going to use 1 through 8, these ports right here. So the big S-bus ports is where all the control surfaces are going to plug in, because they're all S-bus. But the things like the gear, the valves, and the canopy open and close are just going to plug into this power system along this. And this particular system, you can either make these ports 1 through 8, or, so yeah, make sure that, yeah, 1 through 8, or 9 through 16. So it just depends. That's written weird. Yeah, 1 through 8 or 9 through 16. So I'm going to make these 1 through 8 and use all my thing like throttle, no steering, gear, canopy lock, and brakes. That's one thing I got to put on here, brakes. And then the rest of them will be 9 through, let's see, what am I going through? 9 through roughly 21 are all going to be S-bus for my controls. So that's what I'm going through and doing right now. I got to program all the channels into the servos. So this one, since it's aileron 1, it's going to be channel 10. And then the other aileron will be channel 11. Elevator, stab will be 11, 12, and then rudders, things like that. So that's what I'm doing right now. Nothing crazy, just doing some setup and everything. So I can actually unplug this now. I'm gonna have to charge my radio here pretty soon. So just a quick video kind of showing you this, and I'm gonna pause this one and get back to doing some things. And the next video I'll show you guys everything, kind of like all the control surfaces working at, but I just gotta charge my radio. It's about to die on me. So, oh, and had a couple people commenting, which is great. I love it. Had a couple questions about the whole King Tech thing, and you know, I'm not gonna get sucked into a lot of things. I'm just gonna tell people my experience, and I don't lie. I'll tell you straight up, you know, my opinions on things if you ask me. I'm not gonna argue with it. You know, you can have your opinions, I can have mine, that's fine. But all my opinions about certain brands are pretty much based off of my experience with them, because I have flown. I started out with what did I start out with? I had an old Jet Central, had problems with it, then working with the rep, back before they switched to who they have now. That was a horrible thing. It was a horrible experience. And then so I went to King Tech originally. They were great motors. You know, they were just coming on the scene, and I flew them a while. And then based off of, you know, some experiences with that, I decided to kind of give Jet Central another try. And then at that point was when I was looking into other motors, like Jet Monts and stuff, and the rest is kind of history there. But I don't like to be negative, even though it may seem like that. I'm not a negative person. I get along with people. I'm laid back. I'm easygoing. But once I get to a point, you know, it's kind of there. But I'm easy to work with. I try to work with companies. They don't ever want to listen. And I've been doing this stuff for over 30 years now. So I know what I'm talking about a little bit. You know, I'm not the greatest about things, and I still learn stuff, and that's why I do this too. But when it comes to building these things, I can build them. I know what to look for, and I know what right looks like. So when I don't see it, I talk about it and let people make their own decisions. That's kind of what I'm doing. But so anyways, enough of that. But the other question somebody had was about the F-14. They were like, why are the rudders angled? Well, that is how the real one is. Now, whether or not those rudders are angled 100% scale, I have no idea. I don't think anything the Asian manufacturers make is 100% scale. So when they complain about, like, well, we're not going to change something because it's scale, well, I'm like, well, that's just stupid, because there's other stuff on your model that aren't scale. Like, oh, hey, why are you putting all these extra decals on there? Those aren't scale. You know, shit like that. So, but yes, they do angle. If you look at look at some real pictures of them from the front, they're slightly angled. They're not completely vertical. So there's that question. So, but yeah, thanks for the questions. Keep them up. Like I said, the channel's growing really quick right now. And I don't know if that's just from all the videos I'm doing, but I'm just documenting the builds. Like I said, that's kind of what I do. So if you like what I'm doing, just give it a thumbs up, tell people. And I do have, if you want to check out my webpage or my website, it's www.fb-rc.com. So that's where I sell the things that I sell. You know, that's my little online hobby shop. Most people don't know it, but I'm also was up until recently the only U.S. distributor service guy for Zykoy motors, but they added another one recently. And I sell a lot of other things, and it's things that I use, and I try to stick to things that I know are proven products, just because, one, they're proven, and I don't want to deal with that headache, and I just don't want to sell stuff that's not any good. You know, that's not good for the hobby, period. So, but anyways, went way too long. I'm going to end this one, and you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Cheers.